Hello, people. Well, I was planning on doing a live today, but unfortunately, my partner she has COVID, so I've been waiting on her hand and foot today, and had to do some shopping, get her the things that she needs to get better, and I'm totally avoiding her. I went to the door, I dropped the groceries off, I back up, but she's been calling me a lot on the phone, so I don't really want to tie myself up at this time, so I'm going to drop a video. And the video I'm dropping today is going to be kind of interesting. I'm going to drop a video. I went over some previous interviews I did, and a lot of people say we have these channels and there's a lot of drama involved. But to give you an idea, okay, this is just a list of just a few: Gunnar Lindblom, Jimmy Calandra, John A. Light, Jimmy A. Light, Hootie Russo, Gene Barillo, Gunsmoke, Damian Trites, a sheriff from the Department of up in Boston, Bill Stacks, FBS, Kane Shade, and several more people have been interviewed on this channel. And a lot of people make you think that it's all drama. It's not drama. Even if you go to FBS's, he interviews a lot of people too. There's drama caused because of all the infighting and stuff. But behind the scenes, us as content creators, we're looking for interviews and we're looking to get good interviews. Sometimes they're disappointing and sometimes they're good interviews. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play a couple interviews that I've had, not segments of the interviews. And I'm going to break it up, and then probably tomorrow or the next day I'm going to do some more. Because I did Jimmy Calandra. I'm going to put A-Light and Jimmy Calandra together and go over those interviews I did with them, because those two interviews by far got me my biggest amount of views. And things that they said a couple months ago, we'll see what they have to say now, how much of it's true, and where everything went wrong. As you know, Jimmy and I don't talk no more. And that's fine. And whenever we do talk, it's not too nice. But the fact of the matter, he did an interview here. And when I first started this channel out, the problem was on some of these interviews, I should have waited a little time because I was just getting the channel underneath, getting my feet underneath doing the channel. And I missed a lot of questions that now I would ask. So I just want to go over some of the stuff that was said. Probably one of my most popular interviews was with Bill Stacks. I don't know if it was really an interview. It got kind of ugly. Matter of fact, it got very ugly. And as you know, since then, a lot of crap has gone down, including me being doxxed on his show. And still more stuff going on behind the scenes that we really don't discuss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of that interview. I'm going to show you some of Hootie Russo's interview. And because they were very interesting. Also, there's a couple other interviews I'm going to show you too. I'm going to also Steve from the Guardian of the Green Beret, who came on and basically said that Anthony Raimondi was a fake, and it didn't really get talked about too much. And I thought it deserved to be talked about more because the Guardian of the Green Beret went out and did the research. Everything's finalized now, and it's 100% that Anthony Raimondi is a total military fraud of stolen valor. Okay, but let me go back into this right now, and I'm gonna start off with this interview. Let's see. This is going to be Stacks and I. And let's see. I'm going to pick it up from a spot right here and killer. I mean, nobody.
You look like a child molester.
Hey, but you see what I mean, though.
Dude, you look suspect as fuck, Lee.
But you see what I mean, though. But you see, you're making accusations without facts. You're very good at doing that.
But you do, though. You do
okay,
look.
Now, okay, let me ask you another question. Are you ready to say that Anthony's full of shit and he's not? Are you saying? Well, are you willing to say that he is not who he says he is?
That's Anthony's story. That's not mine.
No, you had him on your show, and you will not say he's not who he is. You presented him as someone that he's not.
Listen, man, I got proof that he is who he is. So you guys can talk all the shit you want. It's fine.
So you're pretty much saying that Bald Sicilian's talking shit too.
Bro, I'm cool with Bald Sicilian.
No, it has nothing to do with being cool. It has to do with you said that this guy.
I'm not going to get in the middle of the drama because you want me to, Lee.
No, you don't want to admit that this guy's fake.
It's not going to happen, Lee.
Do you know what stolen valor is?
Go fuck yourself, Lee.
Do you know what stolen valor is?
Yes, I know what stolen valor is.
You know that when this guy told you that in one day he got his marksmanship and he became everything in one day. You never even questioned him on it.
It seems like it really bothers you, though.
Dude, it's your job to question people if they have it under show.
Seems like it bothers you, man.
Of course, it's stolen valor.
So
I have a son. You know what it
right,
is?
bro?
I have a son that's in special forces. So yeah, it is stolen valor, dude. This child molester right here has 3 children, all in the military.
Oh, that's great, bro.
Okay.
I don't think you should be around.
Do you understand what stolen valor is?
You shouldn't be around children. I don't think.
You're being sarcastic right now.
Don't be honest.
No, you're sounding lowly educated.
I'm being honest, Lee.
You're sounding lowly educated.
No, all you are is a fucking troll that sits here on your computer. You make bot accounts. You fucking go attack people. You go into your own. Go into your own fucking chat rooms.
Do you have evidence of this?
You attack your own chat rooms, Lee.
I
know all about you, Lee.
You don't know this. If you know this.
Next question. Next fucking question, Lee.
If you know, dude, are you going to let me ask questions? Or are you going to cut me off because you can't answer the question?
Next question, Lee.
Okay. So do you have evidence that I do this with bots?
The evidence is coming. Don't worry.
There is no evidence.
Yes, it is.
That's your famous line.
Yes,
the evidence is coming.
Don't worry.
The evidence is coming. There's never no evidence. The evidence, this is over a month old, this one interview right here, and I'm still waiting for the evidence. Evidence with you.
When it's out, I'll put it up, Lee.
There's no evidence with you.
I'll put it up, Lee. I'll put it up.
You know why you and Anthony Ramon get along? Because you're both fake.
Okay.
You're both fake. You'll never have no evidence, and he's stolen valor.
All you'll ever be is a fucking fat, ugly, bald troll.
It doesn't matter, dude. I'm retired. I have my life.
That's all you'll ever be.
I have my life. I don't live in no one's house.
Good for you. Good for you, Lee.
Dude, how about
Next fucking question, motherfucker.
Okay. When you talk about how tough you are, how come you got beat up like a little bitch?
Okay, that video is fucking old as fuck, and I was drinking at the time. That's not who I am anymore. You talk about change this, change that.
I don't need to change. I'm not a drug addict. I don't need to change.
I'm fine. I'm in recovery, Lee.
You're not in recovery, dude.
Yes, I am.
You cannot act like this as a human being and be in recovery.
That fucking video is old as hell, bro.
The way you curse and swear and how vindictive you are, there's no part of being.
I call you what you are. You're fucking. You look
call
like
me a child molester,
bro. You look like a pedophile, bro.
Do you have any evidence on the pedophile?
I don't need evidence.
Do you have anything?
Bro, look at you. Look at the way you act.
Okay, I'm asking you a question.
You should be.
Do you have any evidence, or you just like to talk shit about everybody?
Next question, Lee.
Do you have any evidence I'm a pedophile?
Next question, Lee.
You don't have any. That's you.
Look at you, bro.
That's your whole life, dude. That's your show. You have no evidence.
Okay, Lee.
Did you talk to Jimmy Calandra today?
No.
Oh, you didn't talk to Jimmy at all?
No.
Because Jimmy seemed really upset. And from what I understand, you contacted him and were saying some bullshit. Is that true?
And what bullshit? Say it, Lee.
Talking about me, dude, because you're a punk. You like to talk about people's past.
So what?
You call people child molesters?
Okay,
you
so
call them child molesters?
Lee, if I call Jimmy, right, and I say, hey, Jimmy, Lee's a fucking child molesting piece of shit.
Yeah.
What's that going to do? It's going to make him mad.
That makes you look like a fool to call someone. Once you call me a child molester,
bro, you look
like a fool.
You look like
dude,
one.
You look like a guy that thinks he's a tough guy.
You look like one. I don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna do shit, motherfucker.
Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? We already seen you fight, dude. You can't fight.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
But
You ain't gonna do
you
nothing,
can't
bro.
fight, dude. I seen you
Shut
fight.
the fuck up, you fat fuck.
If I'm a
Shut
fat
up,
fuck,
man.
but you can't fight.
Shut up, you fat
There's no
fuck.
videos of me being
Come
beat
see
on.
me then, Lee. Come see me
There's
then.
no videos of me beating
Obviously,
on.
in that video, I'm not scared to fight, motherfucker. So come see
You
me.
should
if
be
you think
scared
I'm
to fight.
scared. Come
That dude
see
took
me
you
if
down
you
like
think
you
I'm
were
scared.
took you down like a little
Come
girl.
see me if you think I'm scared, motherfucker. Come see me.
Did you notice how many times I've cursed since we've had this
Come
conversation?
see me, Lee. Come see me.
Zero.
Come see me, Lee.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to present evidence.
I will.
That I'm a pedophile.
Don't worry.
That's a big statement.
I'm gonna dig my ass off.
Okay. I want you to present evidence that.
Don't worry.
Okay. How come you said Hootie took $2,000 when it was $500?
This shit came from JC. When JC from the West Coast, when all this shit was going on, and it's ironic how JC all of a sudden he's fucking quiet as a fucking church mouse, right? All of a sudden he's cool with Hootie. It's all bullshit, bro. All bullshit.
But why did you say $10?
Because JC is the guy that the guy went to that donated the money. The guy went to JC and said, I donated money to the Hootie and Stack show, and he never told Stacks about it. So JC told me about it, and now all of a sudden JC's cool with Hootie now.
Dude, you say a lot.
Just like you, Lee.
You say a lot of stuff that ain't true.
He's a flip-flopping ass just like you.
But he says a lot of stuff that ain't true, just like you do.
I don't say shit that's not true.
If you call someone a pedophile and they're not a pedophile,
I speak the facts, Lee.
No facts.
Don't worry, I'm gonna dig on your.
You dig all you want. No facts. No facts on me being a child molester or a pedophile. None whatsoever.
Why are you so defensive, Lee? Why are you so defensive?
You don't want to know why? Because that's the lowest thing you could say to another human being, especially when it's not true.
Well, I calls them like I sees them, Lee.
You don't call them like you see them. What is your education level? Like
call them like I see them, Lee.
Call
them like I see them, Lee.
Okay.
Next fucking question.
How much state time have you done?
About 5 years.
Okay. In Connecticut, right?
Yep. Next question, Lee.
Okay. I got a lot of stuff on you, dude. Especially your stints inside. I know a lot of people.
Go ahead, motherfucker.
Okay.
Bring it all up.
Okay. You have any trouble in Connecticut at all? Are you allowed near your family or anything like that?
I got a restraining order with my daughter's mother.
You know, I'm going to take it past this part right here. I don't want to bring his, that was done back then. I don't want to bring the family shit into it. Okay, let me see. Thank you, James. Did Stacks get a free purse?
Okay. Pick her up, and I'll make a video with her. Okay.
If you pick her up, you'll be arrested.
Okay, I'm gonna go pick her up right now. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
I want to see that. I want you to see that. And I want you to present it too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Lee.
Because the funny thing is, you can call me a pedophile, but you won't talk about why you're not allowed to.
You're a kidnapping piece of shit, is what you are, Lee. You're kidnapping.
Okay. I'm a kidnapping child molester.
Piece of shit is what you are.
Okay, but how many times do I curse? You're losing it, dude. You're losing it. Look, you're losing it. I could be a fat troll, but you're losing it.
Fuck you, Lee.
He's broken, people. You see how easy it was to break this guy?
I'm broken. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and fuck you, Lee.
Whoa. Okay. Well, that was fun, people. Okay, that was entertainment at a pretty high level, if you ask me. Nothing's changed between Stacks and I since then, because especially with the doxing that happened and him refusing to take any responsibility for what happened. And on top of that, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't talk to everybody about. But that is just one interview. I'm going to play a couple other interviews, but not the long version. I picked little segments out. I'm going to do Hootie next because Hootie has the issues with Stacks, and I'm trying to roll them into one. And then we'll talk about that. Okay, let me get this one out of here. Okay. Okay, this is with going to be with Hootie, and we're going to start off at the. Let's see. I got it written down here. Okay. So with Hootie, we're going to start off at the 9:35 mark. Okay, it's already set up. Okay.
Because of me.
Okay. But you are. Okay, I got to remove this to make sure I have the volume on. Okay, here we go. Are a cooperator. That makes you, but that makes you a rat. I mean, this is the one.
Otherwise,
Right,
I never said otherwise.
okay, but you did on Vladi TV. You said you were a cooperator. You were trying to separate the cooperator from the rat.
Well, because in my eyes, a rat is a guy that goes in and tells on his friends for no reason, gets a guy 50 years. I separate the two. But in the world that I come from, a cooperator and a rat's the same thing. If I feel that I want to separate the two, that's my feelings on it. If I'm in life and I didn't decide to do this, I'm looking at it from that standpoint. It's a rat, it's a cooperator, it doesn't make a difference. I'm separating it now since I've taken a step back to look at the situation. Okay. But I have nothing against it. If you want to call me a rat or a cooperator, it doesn't make a difference to me.
And we're going to move on here. Do you know who Mob Rat is? Have you heard of him?
There's Mob Rats 1, there's Mob Rats official. I don't know. I've been getting DMs just this week alone, so I'd never heard of any of these guys before that.
Well, he did a show on you, and it was pretty hard hitting. And so did Bald Sicilian. Bald Sicilian actually had John Capone on his show. I'm going to get past this part and go up to 22. Both have pretty legitimate, stories here and John agrees with them that you were using. Okay, this is the 22 mark.
It's all out there.
When someone does something hustling, there's not necessarily paperwork on it. I mean,
what do you mean hustling? What kind of hustling?
No, say with Capone, a lot of people.
It has to be paperwork. There's got to be paper trail of people that donating money. You're wrong. There's got to be paper trail to anybody that donates money. Nobody walks up and donates cash into a computer. There's got to be a site. There's got to be an account. There's got to be something. You can't just say he took $2,000. Where did he take it from? Who was the person that deposited it?
So why does Stacks have such a hard on for you then?
Well, I put Stacks on. Nobody, I don't know if you know the story. Nobody knew who Stacks was. I'm 100% to blame for Stacks' voice. I mean, of course, now he only gets 300 views a video without me, but I gave him a voice and I gave him almost 1,800 subscribers at the time when I left him. He had maybe, I don't know, I couldn't even tell you, less than 300 subscribers. He asked me to come on the show. He bamboozled the channel, said it was the Hootie and Stacks show when it was really the Chat with Stacks. He just changed the title. Then he asked me to leave the show I was working with in the West Coast, which all of the shows that I was helping doing was the guys on the West Coast, and Stacks was that they were all going to find their own lanes and everybody was going to eventually go out on their own. I was going to eventually work behind the scenes where I was working way before I started working with Stacks or any other show in producing and writing. That's where I wanted to be in this genre, true crime, not in the mob genre, which there really wasn't a mob genre until the John and Gene show started. Then Michael Francis.
Okay, now that's an area I wanted you guys to hear because I want to ask you guys this question. Do you think that John and Gene did start the mob genre? I thought it was Michael Francis. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought. So he's saying it's John and Gene. So when you go back in these interviews, you can see things like when you're interviewing, there's a lot of times you can't answer quick enough because you're just not hearing what you're supposed to hear. It's easy for people to say, oh, you should have asked him this when he said this, but it's not that easy. Sometimes you'll miss it. You just won't hear it. And when I hear these things now, it gives me an opportunity to answer it. And when I threw to Jimmy A. Light and John John A. Light, John A. Light and Jimmy A. Light, Jimmy Calandra, when I do them together, I'm going to go over things that I missed that they said that a couple months later has been proven different than what they said. That's why it's good to go back through these interviews. I mean, I didn't realize how many interviews I've had, and these are some of the people I interview. People will not interview them because they say they're rats, but I don't give a shit. I'll interview rats. I'll interview people who aren't rats. Everybody has the right to be interviewed, whether people like them or not. That's our job. We're not given a specific thing where we can only interview the people that we think aren't rats, because in reality, a lot of these people not saying that they're not rats are rats. And we'll just leave it there.
Then Sammy, then everybody else came along, So there wasn't even a mob genre. There was just true crime. The John and Gene show set the table for the genre being mob genre. Then now
John and Gene show set the table. What do you people think of that statement? That John and Gene set the table for the mafia genre? Because if I remember correctly, Michael Franzese was out already. Sure, they may have beaten the other guys out, but that's an interesting question. What do you guys think about that?
It's a mob genre. It always was just true crime. And I'm true crime because I wasn't in the mob. I wasn't on record. So my stories are just a guy that grew up in the streets. And if it just happened to be that some of them fell into Cosa Nostra and some of my stories fell into Cosa Nostra, it was a part of my life. Okay. So I gave Stack a voice. I gave him a show. And he wanted me to quit and leave the guys that I was working on the West Coast because one of them outshined him on an interview and he took it the wrong way. And he kind of had a hard on for it. Since then, that whole thing happened. And then I caught him using drugs again. And I wanted to get him help. And he didn't want help because it was a different kind of drug that he was using than what he was on in recovery. And that blew up to a whole big thing. And he just went on to take it to another level for no reason. I mentioned this guy's name on Vlad. I mentioned his name everywhere. I was trying to put him on in the best way that I can, and not for the mob genre because he doesn't belong in it. Gangs, and specifically a jail gang that became a street gang that started. It was actually a black jail gang that became a street gang in Connecticut that started accepting white people in their gang that he was a part of. And I was trying to keep him in that lane where maybe he can help gang members get out or kids not joining gangs. And he just ran with this whole mob genre, thinking he was, Geraldo Rivera opening up Capone's safe.
Now, if you notice one thing, Hootie, whether you like him or not, he does interview well. He has good answers back. He never cursed, and he's never afraid to say what he feels, whether people agree with it or not. Because a lot of you people ain't going to agree with the John and Gene statement that he made. But let's give him credit. I mean, he is here doing the interview. And we can't let the way we feel decide whether these guys are telling the truth or not. We have to say to her, are they telling the truth? We cannot determine whether they're telling the truth because of our feelings. So what have you said to this guy? Have you asked him, why are you doing this and saying that I ripped you off of $2,000?
Yeah, I would never.
That's a pretty serious. Okay, we're going to end that there and go up to the 39. Okay.
Came home, I was at Aqueduct Racetrack watching the horses every week. People were complaining about it then. Why is he in Aqueduct Racetrack? Now they're complaining that I'm not in the neighborhood or I'm scared to come in. It's always going to be that way, but I don't care because, like I said, I do have real beef in the streets, and I'm still here. I'm in the streets. I'm not hiding. So I got to worry about the guys that aren't talking bad about me, the guys that I am talking about in my stories that aren't sending me messages, the guys that really move in silence and violence, real G's. Those are the guys I'm worried about.
That saying, the guys that really move in silence and violence. I like that saying. Okay, and I don't care for Hootie. But the fact of the matter, I do like that saying because there are guys that move in silence that are violent. And those are the guys that eventually something bad's going to happen in this mafia genre with these guys. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Okay, let's move this up to, I'm going to go to the 4240 mark. And this is about Jimmy Calandra and exactly his relationship with Jimmy and why it went bad.
And what I've seen, he was the most serious guy. Yeah, listen, Charles Caniglia was crazy, nuts. The Johnny Caniglia was a stand-up serious gang. Yeah, there was serious gangsters all over my neighborhood. But in the streets, a street guy, he was the most feared guy.
And what's your opinion of Jimmy Calandra?
I don't have one. I don't know Jimmy Calandra from the streets.
How about that story? How about that story about when you went on TV and Jimmy called you right before the TV show?
Yeah, me and Jimmy were being friendly. Just met, went to lunch. He was going to lunch with Gene. I was invited along. Breakfast, lunch. We met, heard about each other, spoke about each other, and we stayed in contact.
And did he ask you to mention his name on the show?
Well, he said to me, tell Vlad I said hello. Now, I had no idea that he got an offer from Vlad. I thought that he just never went on Vlad. He came out months later and said that Vlad offered him money to go on. So Jimmy was wishing me good luck and told me something that he didn't keep his word on. We were just talking and it just happened. He didn't know what was going on, Vlad. It wasn't like a setup thing. He just happened to call me the day that I was meeting Stacks in the city and going to Vlad. It wasn't like a setup that he knew I was going that day and called me. Just happened to call me. And I said, listen, I'm going into Vlad in a little while. And he was like, oh, really? But what we were talking about, me and him, he didn't keep his word on. And I let it go. I didn't say nothing. But he said, tell Vlad I said hello. Mention me. I said, all right, no problem. I have no problem helping anybody out, mentioning. And people can say, I don't need your help. You don't need to mention my name. But I did.
So do you think Jimmy did that because he wanted to?
I know. Maybe
be more
that
noticed
towards Vlad that screw you, I didn't go on your show. I didn't know that at the time. Because then he said, 3 months later, that Vlad sent them an offer to be on his show. I didn't know that. And it was supposedly before I went on.
And there was a picture of you, Gene Borello, and Jimmy all together. What was that about?
That was the breakfast that I was invited to.
Is that the only time you guys really ever hooked up?
No, one more time after that, we seen each other. And then and like I said, we had each other's phone numbers and we were speaking.
So what do you think about, okay, you guys are hooking up and everything, and all of a sudden, Jimmy blasts you guys now. So what would you think why that is now?
I had no idea. I still have no idea. Somebody said that Jimmy was sent a fake recording and they found out who it was, or some kind of fake message, like a spoof message saying I was talking about him.
You say there are so many trolls going on behind the scenes here. So someone sent Jimmy a fake message that, well, that's what Hootie's saying. It's fake. Who knows if it's fake? But there are people behind the scenes here that create a lot of trouble amongst us creators. And it's kind of comical because some people who say how tough they are when it comes to the trolls are the ones being used the most by the trolls. And the trolls are laughing their ass off, just like they are now with this doxing and stuff going on, making people think things are happening that aren't happening. I mean, that's just part of the mafia genre. It's kind of funny now. It got to the point where it was getting sickening, but now it's so obvious what's going on and the things that people are falling for. Even MRE said it last night, that what a troll's duty is. Once a troll knows they have you, they're going to go for the kill. And these trolls that we have around here right now are really good. And they're going for the kill. And nobody knows who these trolls are. They think they know who they are. They guess. But I don't have no idea who these people are. And these other people don't know who they are. They just are making assumptions that people are involved with them and stuff. There's nobody involved with these trolls. These trolls are here on their own, kicking ass. That's what they're doing. And people are falling for their games because they're that high level. That's what it comes down to. And MRE would tell you the same thing because he's already said it.
Which I never did. And then that's when Jimmy went off on me for some reason. And I left it alone, but then the comments a little bit. And I still haven't, put it out there. And the reason being is that he should have kept it real when he talks about helping people instead of choosing the money route. He chose the money route. He didn't choose to help people. And that's where me and him differ in where me and him were talking. And our discussion was about that. He could say that he doesn't know me that well. We don't know each other that well. But we were in talks on doing something to help people, not to make money. And I guess he also...
Don't you love the way all these ex-gangsters who became rats all have this thing about how they want to help the children, how they want to do all these things, how they found God. And the reality is none of them have helped any children. They talk about it. None of them have found God. They talk about it. It's the big thing. It's all bullshit. And you don't hear us creators saying that we found God and we're doing it for the children. We're doing it because this has become our business. And we're trying to turn a profit on it because we spent a lot of time doing this. And if anybody says otherwise, it's not the truth. Everybody works in a different way to make money off of this. Me, I don't really care about making a lot of money. That's why you don't see no Cash App for me. I don't put a Cash App up, but the other guys do. And if the other guys want to do it, then that's their business. And that's why people decide how they're going to earn money on this. And if you don't think that the shit that the creators go through, they deserve a little bit something, you're wrong. They do. So, I might have my differences with FBS or, even this guy driving around in the car now, pizza, whatever, pizza man, whatever his name is. Anthony Karuna, I believe. And, but when he opens up his show, what you see is a Cash App Batman thing right underneath. I mean, he just right to the point. He's on the road. He needs your help. But nobody's forcing anybody to give any money. Anybody that gives any money to any creators, it's up to them those people. And that's what people have to remember about this whole thing. And I'm totally against the people going after creators for making money. And some creators actually need it. I'm lucky because I'm not a rich man, but all my bills are paid and I live a comfortable life. You may not hear that. According to people here, I'm on disability. I live in a welfare motel almost, even though I live in a very nice area. That's just part of the game, people. This whole thing is a silly ass game. That's what it was. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to entertain you, and hopefully we could take this silliness out of it. That's what I've been trying to do for the last week. And now this is why I'm playing some of these old interviews because I hear them different now than I heard them when I was doing them. And when I was going over them, I found it quite fascinating, especially with all these content creators that I've interviewed.
Also had a big deal going at the time, which was 100% true. Shia LaBeouf was going to back him, was going to do the movie. Then he get the funding.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. That is 100%.
100% true.
Yeah.
I know that to be a fact.
Yeah.
It was going to happen. I seen it for myself, my own eyes, and it must have not have went through. And Jimmy must have, snapped out about it. This is something that he's been working on a long time. And he found a route where he found one. And, just decided to go off on, I guess, everybody else.
You think a lot of these guys out there that have these shows, do you ever say to yourself, who the hell is this guy and what's he doing with his show? And it makes no sense, or he's full of
people and he gets subscribers. I mean, listen, everybody can do whatever they want. It's a free country. But I look at that and it's like I won't even pay attention to that.
And what do you think of all these wars all this fighting going on? This is closing out the Hootie interview. I found that the way he closes out and what he said about what's going to happen, I found it really eerie because it is what's going to happen, and you see how much the level of attacks and stuff has increased, and how much the hate has increased amongst a lot of people, and all these new people coming in already doing a lot of attack jobs too. Between
Okay.
everybody.
I got serious problems in the streets. I'm not worried about any. I don't pay attention to the stuff going on YouTube.
When you say
I'm
you
not
have
gonna-
serious problem, when you say you have serious problems in the street, what do you mean by that?
Well, I got beefs with guys that I tell stories about that are still in Cosa Nostra. I got beefs with drug dealers that I mentioned in my stories. These guys, you don't want to be mentioned, don't want to be talked about. And the guys that I don't hear from or get messages from, because I get messages all the time. And the ones that I don't hear from are the ones you got to worry about. You think you just could talk about these guys and walk around the neighborhood like it's okay? Listen, I tell everybody, you may think the life is dead, but the people that involved in it and were involved in it aren't dead. They're walking the streets.
So do you see something happening here pretty soon where something bad's going to happen because
It
of
has
all this shit?
It's inevitable.
Huh?
It has to. It's inevitable. It has to happen. Somebody gets caught slipping, or somebody gets caught where they're not supposed to be, and somebody else is there. Listen, I go to bars, I go to restaurants. I don't stop my daily activities. I go to the same barbershop. Like I told you, I do the same things. I've seen people before, and you know what? Before I started my show, I would get a head nod or I'd get ignored. They would ignore me, I'd get a head nod. Now, if I run into them people, it's going to be a problem.
Okay. Well, I wanted to finish that out because that's as real as it gets right there. You know, you don't know who you're bumping on when you rat or if you become an informer. Hootie likes to call himself an informer, not a rat. I don't see the difference. But what he's saying though about you never know when that day is going to come when you bump into the wrong person. It's going to be a family member of somebody you put away if you're a rat. Something bad's going to happen here. And it's not going to be too far off. You just feel it coming. I mean, look what happened with the anger level last night with MRE and Bobby Luisi. Bobby Luisi is like, here he is. He shows this video, and MRE is like coming at him. You know, dox me. You're doing it to the wrong person. But only those two guys know. We don't know what's going on between the two of them. We don't know whether this is true. MRE knows whether it's true, and Bobby Luisi knows whether it's true. Bobby Luisi might be bullshitting for all we know. There might not be no video. That might be a fake video. Or somebody else like MRE, or MRE might be like, oh shit, this is really mean. He's going to dox me. We don't know. Every day in this genre, something new seems to develop. It's unbelievable, actually. And somebody new seems to show up out of the blue. I mean, one day the person's not here, the next day somebody's here. Tony Pizza, perfect example. How does Tony say? I fell down with the raindrops, which I thought was kind of funny when he said it. But he did fall down with the raindrops. He came out of nowhere and 3 weeks ago, and now he's got over 1,000 subscribers, and he's driving around in this car, and he's putting out content. And it doesn't matter how he's doing it. The fact of the matter is he's putting out content, and he's getting almost 1,000 views per video and sometimes more. And in this game, 1,000 views is the key. You want 1,000 views. And then once you start going over there, everything else is a bonus. Once you get to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, that's all great. But if you get to that 1,000 and you're over the 1,000, that's when you could start doing okay for yourself, especially if you got cash apps up and stuff. I actually do okay with the commercials I have. You know, people say, oh, you only make a couple pennies. That's not true. I actually, make an extra $500-600 a month just by doing commercials and getting a few cash apps, which I don't even ask for. So everybody has their game in here. Everybody's doing something different. And I just find it quite fascinating. And now I'm going to play you one last one. I'm going to play Steve from the Guardians of the Green Beret that came on, and he confirmed that Anthony Raimondi is a fake. That's stolen valor. Because a lot of people didn't see that day. That was an afternoon show. So let me take this one down. And okay, the day that Steve showed up, he's one of the guys that built Guardians of the Green Beret. And if you go on,
Cloud,
you would
the
see
directory
that.
platform unifying IT.
And you'll see them anywhere. And they come forward, they find a lot of people that are fakes. And let me skip the ad here. Well, they find a lot of people that are there's so many people running around out here saying that they weren't in the military. And it's a big issue.
About all this other.
Okay. So this day, I had again that day in from OJC, West Coast. And we were just talking, and out of the blue, this guy from the Guardians of the Green Beret contacted me and wanted to come on. So I let him come on. And this is only about 6 to 7 minutes, but this is what he said about Anthony Raimondi.
Stuff, Lee. Nothing stopping him from lying about, them going to his house and knocking on his windows and all the other stuff. That's just another lie.
Yeah. And he made it very convincing, but everything that comes out of this man's mouth is a lie.
He's a carny by trade. And Lee, you know how carnies are. Look, I had a great uncle who was an alcoholic carny. Our family considered him a loser. The guy knew how to talk for the first 2 minutes in order to capture $1, and that's all he could do. That's what Raimondi is. He's one of these guys. They're trained.
Okay, we're going to bring Steve in right now. Steve just showed up out of the blue. Hey, Steve, I appreciate you showing up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to give a statement on Anthony Raimondi? You're doing the first one on a podcast, so go for it.
Yeah, he's a fraud, 100% fraud. We still have yet to get records. NPRC is about 800,000 cases backlog. Our second level emergency response technician retired last month, and we haven't been assigned a new one yet. But him, in his own words, we know beyond doubt he's a fraud. The databases we do have access to, he does not appear in. A Green Beret would not do training as a Marine. It's not one-day training like he says. You don't get a tattoo after 150 kills. You don't get a second tattoo after 300. Now, your statement about us going by his apartment is not 100% correct. Somebody that follows our work went by there.
Right.
They did take pictures of his apartment. That's not against the law.
Yeah.
He was recorded. I have the recordings on Bill Stack's podcast or whatever he calls it, blog. He said we threatened him. We tried to extort money. That's not true. We've never even accepted money when people offer donations to help us fund our work.
And Steve, can I ask you a question? Steve, can I ask you a question? Isn't it normal? Hasn't it happened to you before when you've caught people and they've actually offered you money not to report them?
Yeah, a number of times, and we've never once accepted money. We have asked people if they want to donate and support something to donate to the Green Beret Foundation. Do not give us anything. We're not going to be bought off. We're not going to try and extort people for money. That's absolutely ludicrous. And I can't even believe he would say that. He said the guy threatened his family. That's also a bogus lie. I have the recording. Never once was family brought up. But just him and his own
And those recordings have been heard, people, and there was never no threats. What Anthony Raimondi said is all lies. No one threatened nobody.
words, we really don't have to do much research on this guy, and we could go on record. The only reason he's not on our website yet is because we don't have records. We did post high definition photographs of his special forces tattoos and sniper tattoos on our Instagram. I'm not here to hype our Instagram channel or any of our work in general. But
Steve, you can hype whatever you want because what you guys do is very valuable. Please hype your. Please, we would prefer it.
Our Instagram channel is Guardians of the Green Beret. You could search that, and it's probably about 4 posts ago where we have.
So still, if you go into that Instagram of the Guardian of the Green Beret, they do have pictures of his tattoos, and they're very fake. First of all, they don't give you tattoos for the amount of people you killed. That's kind of morbid. It's up to the individual whether he wants to get those tattoos. There's no tattoos rewarded to people. Maybe medals or something, but not tattoos.
A thread on him. And initially, we turned the guy down when he sent him to us. And we said, this guy is more of a cartoon character. And he is so far out there, nobody in their right mind would believe his stuff. And he's not really worth our time. But then 2 and 3 people messaged us. And then he mentioned us on that guy named Stacks video where he brought us into it now. It's his actions and his words that forced us to pretty much, he's going to be on our website eventually. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next week. We will wait and get records in. But I have no problem whatsoever calling the guy an absolute fraud. His Special Forces crest tattoo, the bottom, if somebody wants to Google Special Forces crest and look at the shape of it and look at the wording down at the bottom and then compare it to the tattoo that we show a high quality picture of on our Instagram, no Green Beret on earth would desecrate the SF crest like he did. His sniper, 1 shot, 1 kill, or whatever it says on there, if a sniper got a tattoo like that, he would probably use cross sniper rifles. Those aren't sniper rifles. It's a low quality bullshit tattoo. Nobody gets awarded tattoos after their 150th and 300th kill. This guy would be holy cow, he makes Jason Bourne and Rambo look like kindergarten cops. So I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of time. Yes. But I just wanted to put out there, it was not Guardians who went by his house.
I appreciate that. Hey, listen, if it got you on,
yeah,
I
but
appreciate
it was somebody that does follow our channel and is former military. He has ties to Special Forces, but was not a Green Beret. So, he's part of the community. He knew what he was talking about when he reached out to him. He carried himself in a very professional manner during the phone calls, which I have, and never threatened him, never extorted money, never threatened his family. And it is what it is. But
Steve, really when I heard 300 kills, I was thinking even in like Stalingrad and big battles of World War II, the best snipers in World War II weren't hitting numbers like that.
Well, this guy's not even good at lying.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a video out there. I forget what it is. Something about Coney Island, and it shows him years ago being a cigar salesman on Coney Island. If people do their research on this guy, he's more of a comic book character than a fake Green Beret. It's he has every right to sue us for slander and libel, but he can't do that because if we go to court, we bring proof that he's a fraud.
Yeah, the
and
truth
he
is
can't bring-
defense.
Yeah. And the thing about it, they can't say that his records are classified. There are secret missions. There are not secret Green Berets. If you graduate back when he went through or supposedly went through, it would have been Special Forces Training Group. There's nothing classified about that. And him saying that we can't get his records, he doesn't understand the Freedom of Information Act. Okay. We get, if somebody Googles our website, guardiansofthegreenberet.com, and just starts scrolling down and picks out any article we done, we have their records in there. That's what we do. We have contacts at the Special Forces Schoolhouse. We have people that have access to other records that we won't go into here. And I'm not saying that, to create some type of a gray area, but there's things that we have access to that you really shouldn't to. And he's not.
Okay, so that's the end of that interview. It was just about to end there. So I wanted you to see that. This is a month after that interview. It got very little play, so I figured I'd play it again. And if we have new people that listen to the show now, I wanted you guys to hear this. And despite this evidence being presented, Anthony Raimondi was still getting his platform. So people, that's 3 interviews that I wanted to talk about. We've got so many more interviews to talk about. We're trying to, as content creators, we put together a lot of stuff, and we need to take advantage of the stuff that we've done previously too. And that is one of those, and this is one of those times. So please, like, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate that. We have picked up 240 subscribers in the last 2.5 weeks. And for that, I'd like to thank you. And also, if there's anything that you guys want to write in the comment section, do it. Right now, I'm working on some interviews. One guy that's going to be interviewed is an actual current Hollywood star. And we're working on that right now. He's legitimately did 3 series last year. And he was a major star in the series. But, I mentioned his name the other day, but I'm just going to keep it on the down low until we get it guaranteed, because he's on set shooting right now for a series. That's how popular this guy is. And he's a friend of mine. Usually we wouldn't get people like this. I mean, this guy, you'd have to go through his agent and everything, but me and him are good friends. And how I met him is just a whole different, kind of weird, but it's been a good friendship between me and him. So we're going to be working on that soon. And some other people, we never know who we're going to interview. It's like when this Steve from Guardian of the Green Berets showed up. He just showed up that day. He wanted to get on. He was getting pissed about Anthony Raimondi doing this. And then Vlad was ignoring his request. And so was Stacks. They were ignoring him. So he was like, hey, look, I want to get on here and set this stuff straight. And that's why he came on that day. We never know when we're getting up in the morning who we're going to have on that night. Something can happen. And that's it, people. I did almost an hour video today. I want to do a live tomorrow, but it's going to depend on how my partner's doing. Yeah, she is just very sick. She's in the beginning stage of COVID. And she's a strong woman, so she should be fine. But that's what we're dealing with right now. And I wanted so badly to get a video up today. So that's why I did this one and put it together like this. I hope everybody likes it. Like, subscribe. Appreciate everything. Really appreciate all you people that do faithfully come and watch these videos. Thank you.